Rain hammered the burning city like the heavens themselves were trying to erase what was happening. Kael Vathorn stumbled through the ruined streets breathing heavily. The world around him had become hell. Buildings collapsed into rivers of fire. People screamed. Monsters howled. The sky itself looked cracked. A gigantic creature crawled over the city walls using dozens of black spider-like limbs. Its body looked like rotting armor fused together with flesh. One of its eyes slowly turned toward Kael. The moment their eyes met, fear exploded through his entire body. "Run!" Someone screamed behind him. Kael snapped out of his trance and sprinted down the destroyed street. His legs burned. His lungs felt like they were tearing apart. But he kept running. He had to. Because his family was still alive. At least, he prayed they still were. Another explosion erupted nearby. Boom. A massive fireball swallowed an entire building. The shockwave threw Kael violently across the road. He rolled across broken stone before crashing into a cart. Pain exploded through his ribs. Cough. Blood spilled from his mouth. Then he heard it. His little sister. Brother. Kael's eyes widened. He forced himself up instantly. Mira. He turned the corner. And froze. His mother stood in front of Mira holding a kitchen knife with trembling hands. 3 massive bone wolves surrounded them. The creatures were horrifying. Their bodies were covered in exposed white skeletal armor. Their mouths dripped black saliva. Golden eyes glowed beneath the rain. Kael's mother shook violently. But she still stood in front of Mira. Mom. One of the wolves slowly stepped forward. Then, another. Kael sprinted toward them desperately. Get away from them. One wolf instantly turned. Its eyes locked onto him. The creature lunged. Too fast. Far too fast. Kael barely raised his arms before the monster slammed into him. Crack. Pain exploded through his body. He crashed through a wooden wall violently. Everything spun. Rain poured onto his face. His vision blurred. Then he heard Mira scream. Brother. Kael forced himself upright. No. No, no, no. Not again. Again. Kael suddenly froze. A strange pain stabbed into his skull. Fragments. Images. Screams. Blood. Fire. His mother dying. Again. 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 Kael grabbed his head violently. What? The bone wolf opened its jaws. Then, crunch. Kael's mother disappeared inside the creature's mouth. Her scream lasted less than a second. Mira froze completely. The world became silent. Kael stared blankly. Then slowly, tears rolled down his face. Because he remembered. Not just this death. All of them. Every single one. Every reset. Every scream. Every time he failed. His knees hit the ground. This. Rain dripped from his trembling fingers. This already happened. The wolf approached Mira. Kael's eyes widened. Mira run. Too late. A gigantic claw descended from the darkness above. Splat. Her body vanished instantly. Kael stopped breathing. No. Not her. Not again. 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 His entire body shook violently. Then suddenly, a blue screen appeared before him. Primary player has died. World reset initializing. Returning to checkpoint. Kael stared at the glowing text. His breathing became unstable. What is this? The city around him shattered into fragments of light. The sky cracked apart. Everything dissolved. Then darkness swallowed him. Birds chirped softly. Warm sunlight touched his face. Kael's eyes slowly opened. He was lying in bed. His room. Morning. Peaceful. For several seconds he simply stared at the ceiling. Then footsteps echoed downstairs. His mother's voice. Kael. Wake your sister before breakfast. Kael stopped breathing. His eyes widened slowly. No. Impossible. He immediately ran downstairs. Mom. His mother turned around holding a cooking spoon. You're yelling this early again? Alive. She was alive. Mira suddenly appeared behind her sleepily, rubbing her eyes. Morning, brother. Alive. Kael staggered backward. Tears instantly filled his eyes. His mother frowned. Kael. He looked between them. Alive. Both alive. Then suddenly another memory slammed into him. A different death. Mira crushed beneath falling rubble. Another. His mother burned alive. Another. A monster tearing Kael apart himself. Another. 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 Kael grabbed the table desperately. His breathing became unstable. 100 deaths. 100 loops. 100 failures. And somehow, only he remembered. Mira blinked. Brother, why are you crying? Kael slowly looked at her. Then whispered. I remember everything. The next several days nearly destroyed Kael mentally. Because every single thing happened exactly the same. Every conversation. Every event, every movement. NPC villagers repeated identical dialogue. Shopkeepers laughed at the same jokes. Guards walked the same routes. Even rain fell at the same times. Kael slowly realized something horrifying. The world was scripted. People were trapped. And somehow, he had become self-aware. One afternoon he stood near the village fountain watching several armored adventurers walk through town. Players. Kael remembered them clearly. Different faces every reset. Different names. But always the same behavior. They treated the world like entertainment. One player kicked a fruit cart over laughing. Another flirted with NPC women. One began jumping repeatedly on rooftops for no reason. Kael stared at them coldly. Because he remembered something. That same laughing player would accidentally trigger a beast migration 2 weeks later. Thousands would die. Including Mira. Again. Kael's hands trembled slightly. One of the players noticed him. Hey look. The player laughed. This NPC has been staring at us for like 5 minutes. Another player snorted. They made this one realistic. Kael's eyes narrowed. NPC. That word. He hated it. Because they were wrong. He was alive. He remembered pain. He remembered death. He remembered watching his family die 100 times. That was real. Far more real than these smiling idiots understood. One player walked toward him casually. Hey blacksmith guy. Kael remained silent. Where's the hidden cave quest around here? Kael froze slightly. Hidden cave. Suddenly another memory surfaced. During the 87th reset, a player found a hidden cave near the northern forest. Inside it, he found something. Power. Enough power to survive longer than every other player. But even he eventually died. Kael slowly looked toward the northern mountains. The player frowned. Hello. Did your dialogue break? Kael turned and walked away. The players laughed behind him. But Kael no longer cared. For the first time in all the resets, he had a chance. And this time, he would become strong enough to kill every monster in existence. Even if he had to become one himself. Night covered the forest. Kael sprinted through the trees breathing heavily. The hidden cave sat deep beyond the normal hunting grounds. Players usually discovered it weeks later. But Kael already knew where it was. Because he remembered. Branches cracked beneath his feet. Cold wind moved through the forest. Then suddenly, a growl echoed nearby. Kael instantly froze. Bone wolves. 3 of them slowly emerged from the darkness. Golden eyes glowed beneath moonlight. Kael's heartbeat exploded. Fear returned instantly. Because he remembered these monsters. They killed him in 37 different loops. One wolf crouched low. Then lunged. Kael barely dodged. The creature slammed into a tree hard enough to shatter it. Wood exploded everywhere. Kael grabbed a broken branch desperately. Not enough. The second wolf attacked immediately. Its claws ripped across Kael's chest. Blood sprayed. Ack. Pain exploded through him. But this time, Kael did not run. His expression slowly changed. 100 deaths. 100 timelines. 100 failures. Fear no longer controlled him. Rage did. The third wolf lunged. Kael stepped forward instead. The branch pierced directly through the wolf's eye. Screech. The creature collapsed violently. The other wolves froze briefly. Then Kael saw it. A glowing red crystal inside the monster's chest. The beast core. Another memory surfaced. Players absorbed them to gain strength. Kael immediately ripped the core out. The moment his fingers touched it, a blue screen appeared. Unique condition met. Self-aware entity detected. Core absorption limiter removed. Kael stared. What? Then the core dissolved into his body. Crack. Pain exploded through every bone. Kael screamed. His muscles tightened violently. His vision sharpened. His heartbeat deepened. Strength flooded his body unnaturally fast. The remaining wolves attacked together. But this time, Kael moved. Fast. Far faster than before. He grabbed one wolf mid-air and slammed it into the ground hard enough to crack stone. Boom. The creature whimpered. Kael's eyes widened slightly. This strength. The final wolf lunged desperately. Kael caught its jaws with both hands. Then slowly forced them apart. Crayak. Blood covered his face. Silence returned to the forest. Kael stood there breathing heavily surrounded by corpses. Then another screen appeared. Core absorbed. Physical strength increased. Agility increased. Evolution path available. Kael slowly smiled for the first time. Not a happy smile. A dangerous one. Because finally, for the first time across 100 loops, the future had changed. The hidden cave was far deeper than Kael remembered. At first, it looked ordinary. Cold stone walls. Water dripping from the ceiling. narrow tunnels disappearing into darkness. But the deeper Kael walked, the stranger the cave became. The air itself felt wrong, almost distorted. Blue symbols flickered across certain walls for brief moments before vanishing. Kael stopped walking. His silver-glowing eyes narrowed. What is this place? A low mechanical sound echoed somewhere underground. Then suddenly, a voice. Not human. Not monster. Cold. Emotionless. Developer testing zone detected. Kael froze instantly. The words appeared directly inside his mind. Developer. Testing zone? Before he could think further. Ruhr. The entire cave shook violently. Dust exploded from the ceiling. Kael instantly jumped backward. A gigantic black arm smashed through the tunnel wall. Boom. Stone exploded everywhere. Then the creature emerged. Kael's eyes widened slowly. It was enormous. At least 15 feet tall. Its body looked like a gorilla fused together with dark stone armor. Chains wrapped around its arms. Its face had no eyes. Only a giant vertical mouth stretching across its skull. The blind Titan ape. Kael remembered it immediately. Not from the resets, but from fragmented memories. Players spoke about unfinished bosses hidden beyond world boundaries. Monsters never meant to exist. And somehow, one stood directly before him. The Titan ape roared again. The sound nearly ruptured Kael's ears. Then it charged. Fast. Far faster than something that size should move. Kael barely dodged before the creature's fist obliterated the ground. Boom. The entire cave trembled. Kael's heartbeat exploded. This thing was stronger than anything he fought before. Far stronger. The ape swung again. Kael ducked narrowly. Wind pressure alone shattered nearby rocks. Kael immediately counterattacked. He leaped forward and slammed his fist directly into the monster's ribs. Crack. The impact shook the cave. But the ape barely moved. Kael's eyes widened. The monster slowly turned its eyeless face toward him. Then smiled. A horrifying smile. Suddenly the chains around its arms snapped apart. The ape's muscles expanded violently. Kael instantly sensed danger. Too late. The creature backhanded him across the cave. Boom. Kael crashed through 3 stone pillars before hitting the wall. Blood exploded from his mouth. Pain tore through his body. His left arm bent unnaturally. Broken. The ape slowly approached. Each footstep shook the ground. Kael struggled to breathe. In the previous loops, this would have been the moment he died. But not anymore. Kael slowly stood. His silver eyes glowed brighter. Then another blue screen appeared. Critical damage detected. Adaptive evolution available. Absorb surrounding energy. Kael stared. Then immediately whispered. Yes. The dead bone wolf cores attached to his belt suddenly dissolved. Energy exploded through his body. Crayak. His broken arm snapped back into place violently. Muscles tightened. Bones strengthened. Kael screamed. The Titan ape charged again. But this time, Kael moved differently. Cleaner. Faster. He vanished sideways. The ape's fist missed completely. Kael appeared above the monster instantly. Then drove both feet downward. Boom. The ape crashed into the ground. Kael landed breathing heavily. His body felt hot. Too hot. Power flooded through him unnaturally fast. But the ape stood again. Still alive. Still smiling. Then suddenly its chest opened. Kael's eyes widened. Inside its body, hundreds of glowing beast cores pulsed together. The creature had devoured countless monsters. Kael's heartbeat intensified. If he absorbed those. The ape roared and charged once more. Kael sprinted forward too. Both collided violently. Boom. The cave shattered. Stone exploded everywhere. Kael's fists hammered into the monster repeatedly. Each strike stronger than the last. The ape retaliated with monstrous force. Kael's ribs cracked. His shoulder tore apart. Blood covered both of them. But Kael kept attacking. Again. 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 Because pain no longer frightened him. He had already died over 100 times. The ape grabbed Kael suddenly. Then slammed him into the ceiling. Crash. Stone rained downward. The creature opened its giant mouth preparing to bite Kael in half. Then Kael smiled. A cold smile. His right hand shot forward directly into the monster's chest. Rip. The ape froze. Kael's fingers closed around the cluster of beast cores. Then violently ripped them out. The Titan ape screamed. Kael absorbed everything instantly. The effect was catastrophic. Boom. Black energy exploded through the cave. Kael's body convulsed violently. Veins glowed silver beneath his skin. His heartbeat sounded like thunder. Core overload detected. Forced evolution initiated. Kael screamed as power flooded endlessly through his body. Memories appeared inside his mind. Monster instincts. Hunger. violence, predatory urges. For several terrifying seconds, Kael almost lost himself completely. Then suddenly silence returned. The cave stopped shaking. Kael slowly stood. The Titan ape's corpse collapsed behind him, dead, completely destroyed. Kael stared at his hands. His fingernails had become darker, sharper. His silver eyes glowed unnaturally bright now. And his physical strength, it felt monstrous. Then suddenly, clap, clap, clap. Kael froze. Someone else was inside the cave. A tall figure slowly emerged from the darkness. Humanoid. Thin. Its body looked stitched together from black flesh. Dozens of glowing eyes opened across its skin. And unlike every monster Kael had ever seen, it was smiling knowingly. Then it spoke. Clear. Human. Interesting. Kael's entire body tensed. Because monsters were never supposed to talk. The creature tilted its head slowly. Then whispered. So another self-aware one has finally appeared. Kael's eyes widened instantly. The cave suddenly felt far colder. Because for the very first time since becoming self-aware, he realized something horrifying. He was not alone. The creature's glowing eyes blinked one after another. Watching him. Studying him. Kael slowly stepped backward. Every instinct inside his body screamed danger. The stitched creature smiled wider. Its voice sounded distorted. Almost layered. Like multiple beings speaking together. Interesting. Kael's muscles tightened instantly. The monster slowly walked forward. You smell like them, yet you are not one of them. Kael's eyes narrowed. The players. The creature's smile widened. Yes. Its dozens of eyes moved unnaturally. Those creatures from beyond the sky. Kael's heartbeat slowed. This thing knew about the players. The monster tilted its head. They always come. Always die. Always reset the world. Over, and over, and over. Kael froze. It remembered. Not fully, but enough. The stitched creature suddenly stepped closer. You are dangerous now. Its smile slowly faded. Which means, boom. The creature vanished. Kael barely reacted in time. A black claw ripped across his chest violently. Blood sprayed. Kael crashed backward across the cave floor. Fast. Far too fast. The monster appeared above him instantly. Its glowing eyes narrowed. Then you must die before you evolve further. Kael rolled desperately. Krayabash. The creature's arm pierced directly through solid stone. Kael's silver eyes sharpened. This thing was intelligent. Worse. It fought intelligently too. The creature attacked again. Kael blocked with both arms. Boom. The impact launched him backward. Pain exploded through his bones. But Kael noticed something. The monster was strong, yet physically weaker than the Titan ape. Which meant, it specialized in speed. Kael inhaled slowly. Then his body shifted. The beast cores inside him pulsed violently. He moved. Silver lightning exploded beneath his feet. Boom. The creature's eyes widened slightly. Kael's fist slammed directly into its stomach. Krayarak. The monster flew across the cave, smashing through stone pillars. Kael instantly followed. Fast. Too fast. His body no longer felt human. He appeared beside the creature before it even landed. Then drove his knee directly into its skull. Boom. Stone exploded. The stitched creature screeched violently. But then, it laughed. Even while bleeding. Even while broken. It laughed. You are changing quickly. Black flesh suddenly expanded across its body. Dozens of claws erupted outward. Its size doubled instantly. You remind me of the final beast. Kael froze briefly. Final beast. The creature attacked. Kael blocked. But this time the impact shattered the ground beneath him. The monster's claws tore into Kael's shoulder. Blood exploded. Kael immediately counterattacked. Both creatures collided violently through the cave. Boom. Stone collapsed everywhere. The battle became monstrous. The stitched creature moved like a nightmare. Its limbs bent unnaturally. Its attacks came from impossible angles. Meanwhile Kael adapted continuously. Each injury made him stronger, faster, deadlier. The beast cores inside his body evolved mid-combat. Then, finally, Kael caught the creature's throat. His silver eyes glowed brightly. Tell me what the final beast is. The creature smiled. Then whispered, the end of your world. Suddenly, its body began swelling violently. Kael's eyes widened. Self-destruction. He instantly threw the monster away. Boom. A gigantic black explosion consumed half the cave. Shockwaves ripped through the mountain. Kael barely shielded himself in time. When the smoke cleared, the creature was gone. Only ash remained. Kael stood silently, breathing heavily. Then suddenly, new world event initialized. A blue screen appeared before him. Players have entered Irinder. Kael slowly looked upward. The new cycle had officially begun, and this time, he was stronger before the players even started leveling. 3 days later, the capital city exploded with excitement. The summoned heroes had arrived. Crowds filled the streets. People cheered. Guards celebrated. Nobles smiled proudly. Because every cycle, the players were treated like saviors. Kael stood quietly on a rooftop watching them. 5 players. A swordsman, a mage, an assassin, a healer, and the central hero, Rex Valor. Kael remembered him. The strongest player from the previous loops. The one who survived the longest. The one who nearly reached the final beast before dying. Rex laughed confidently while crowds praised him. To everyone else, he looked heroic. But Kael remembered the truth. Rex abandoned entire cities to save himself during several loops. Millions died because of his decisions. Yet the world still worshipped him. Kael's eyes darkened. Then suddenly, a player nearby kicked a child accidentally while fooling around. The others laughed. Relax. It's just NPCs. Kael's fist clenched instantly. NPC. Again that word. The child cried while the players walked away carelessly. The surrounding villagers pretended not to notice. Because the heroes were untouchable. Kael slowly stepped off the rooftop. His silver eyes glowed faintly beneath his hood. They think this world belongs to them. That night, Kael followed the players secretly beyond the city. He already knew what would happen. Because he remembered. Rex's party would ignore a hidden dungeon warning. That mistake would trigger a massive beast tide weeks early. And once again, Kael's village would die. Not this time. The players reached an ancient shrine deep inside the forest. A glowing seal covered the entrance. The mage frowned. Looks dangerous. Rex grinned. Danger means rewards. The assassin laughed. Worst case scenario, we respawn. Kael's expression darkened instantly. Respawn. That word filled him with rage. Because they could die carelessly. But NPCs could not. His family suffered every single consequence. Rex raised his sword. Then shattered the seal. Crayak. Silence filled the forest. Then suddenly, the ground trembled. Kael's eyes widened. Too early. The shrine exploded apart. Boom. A gigantic roar shook the entire forest. Birds scattered instantly. Then the earth split open. Massive black creatures began crawling upward. Hundreds. No. Thousands. Bone crawlers. An early beast tide. The players froze. The mage panicked immediately. What the hell is this? Rex's expression changed. This isn't supposed to happen yet. Kael's heartbeat slowed. He remembered this. In previous loops, this was the moment the first major city fell. The monsters surged forward, screaming, hungry, endless. The players began fighting desperately. Explosions filled the forest. Magic tore through monsters. Swords flashed. But the horde was too massive. Far too massive. The assassin screamed as dozens of creatures dragged him underground. Blood exploded across the battlefield. The healer panicked. The mage lost control. Then Kael moved. Boom. Silver lightning exploded across the battlefield. A bone crawler's head vanished instantly. Then another. And another. Kael tore through the horde like a monster himself. The players froze. Rex's eyes widened. Who the hell is that? Kael did not answer. He slaughtered everything in front of him. Every movement precise. Every strike lethal. Monster corpses piled endlessly around him. Blood soaked the forest. The beast cores inside Kael pulsed wildly. Absorbing. Evolving. Growing. The more he killed, the stronger he became. The players stared in disbelief. Because this was impossible. No NPC should possess this level of strength. Then suddenly the entire battlefield became silent. Even the monsters stopped moving. Kael slowly looked toward the distant mountains. Something was coming. Something enormous. Then a roar echoed across the entire continent. Roar. The sky itself shook. Clouds split apart. Far beyond the mountains, 2 gigantic crimson eyes opened inside the darkness. Rex's face lost all color. No way. Kael's silver eyes narrowed. Because he recognized that roar instantly. The crimson hollow dragon had awakened. Years too early. The roar echoed across the continent for nearly 30 seconds. Not a single person moved. Not even the monsters. Fear swallowed the battlefield completely. The bone crawlers began retreating. Fast. Desperately. As if something far worse had arrived. Kael's silver eyes narrowed toward the distant mountains. He remembered this creature. In previous timelines, the Crimson Hollow Dragon only awakened near the final stages of the game. Entire armies failed to stop it. Millions died. and even the players barely escaped alive. But now, it had awakened years early, which meant reality itself was collapsing. Rex slowly stepped beside Kael. His face had lost all confidence. What did we just unleash? Kael did not look at him. You unleashed extinction. Rex froze, because the NPC had answered him naturally. Not with scripted dialogue. Not with programmed responses. Like a real person. The mage stared nervously. Wait. NPCs aren't supposed to talk like this. Kael finally turned. His silver eyes glowed faintly beneath the rain. And players aren't supposed to destroy worlds this casually. Silence. The players exchanged uneasy looks. Then suddenly, boom. A gigantic explosion erupted beyond the mountains. The clouds themselves turned red. Then came another roar. Closer. Much closer. Rex's face changed instantly. We need to get back to the capital now. Kael immediately moved. Not toward the capital. Toward his village. Because he remembered what happened next. The dragon's first attack route. His home. Kael sprinted through the forest at monstrous speed. Trees blurred past him. His enhanced senses screamed danger constantly. The beast cores inside his body pulsed violently, growing stronger, adapting, changing him. Then suddenly, a shadow covered the entire forest. Kael looked upward, and stopped. The crimson hollow dragon flew across the sky. Massive, ancient. Its wings were larger than entire villages. Dark crimson scales reflected lightning across the clouds. Black flames leaked from its mouth. And its eyes looked intelligent. Far too intelligent. The dragon slowly turned its head downward, directly toward Kael, then smiled. Kael froze. That thing recognized him. The dragon suddenly opened its mouth. Black flame erupted downward. Boom. The forest vanished instantly. Kael barely escaped before the explosion consumed everything behind him. Heat tore across his skin. The dragon circled above slowly, studying him. Then a voice echoed directly inside Kael's mind. You remember. Kael's entire body tensed. The dragon remembered too. Not fully, but enough. Kael clenched his fists. What are you? The dragon's eyes glowed brighter. A survivor, like you. Then it attacked. The dragon descended like a meteor. Boom. The impact obliterated half the mountain range. Kael was thrown violently across the ground. Blood exploded from his mouth. Before he could recover, the dragon's tail smashed into him. Crash. Kael crashed through dozens of trees. Pain exploded through his entire body. Too strong. Far too strong. This creature was beyond anything he fought before. The dragon landed slowly. Each footstep shook the earth. Then black flames began leaking from its jaws. Kael immediately sensed death. He moved instantly. Boom. Black fire erased the mountain behind him completely. Not burned. Erased. Kael's eyes widened. That attack could destroy entire cities. The dragon laughed softly inside his mind. We were never meant to awaken this early. Its massive eyes narrowed. But the resets are breaking. Kael's heartbeat slowed. What are the resets? The dragon suddenly rushed forward. Faster than before. Kael barely blocked the incoming claw. Boom. The impact shattered the ground beneath him. His arms cracked instantly. The dragon leaned closer. Then whispered. The chains keeping this world alive. Then it blasted him point blank. Black flame exploded. Kael screamed. His flesh burned. His vision blurred. His body flew across the valley. For several terrifying seconds, Kael genuinely thought he would die. Again. Then the beast cores reacted. Extreme threat detected. Emergency evolution available. Activate. Kael coughed blood. Then growled. Do it. Boom. Silver-black energy exploded from his body violently. The dragon paused. Kael's muscles expanded. His veins glowed silver. Dark markings spread across his arms. His heartbeat deepened unnaturally. The surrounding ground cracked apart from pressure alone. Kael slowly stood. Then vanished. Boom. The dragon's eyes widened. Kael appeared directly in front of its face. Then punched. Boom. The dragon's head snapped sideways violently. Shockwaves exploded across the mountains. The dragon crashed through 3 cliffs before regaining balance. For the first time, the creature looked surprised. Kael immediately attacked again. Faster. Deadlier. His body adapted in real time. Every second of combat made him stronger. The battle became catastrophic. Mountains collapsed. Forests burned. Storms formed overhead. Kael ripped through dragon scales with his bare hands. The dragon retaliated with black infernos capable of vaporizing entire landscapes. Neither side stopped. The world itself shook from their battle. Then suddenly, The dragon grabbed Kael in its jaws. Crunch. Blood exploded. Kael screamed as dozens of bones shattered. The dragon prepared to crush him completely. Then Kael's silver eyes glowed brighter than ever before. He grabbed the dragon's upper jaw, then the lower, and slowly forced them apart. The dragon's eyes widened. Kael roared. Boom. Pure force exploded outward. The dragon was thrown backward violently. Kael landed breathing heavily. His body looked barely human now. Dark claw-like nails. Silver glowing veins. Eyes burning unnaturally bright. But he was winning. The dragon stared at him silently, then suddenly laughed. A deep ancient laugh. You truly are becoming the final beast. Kael froze briefly. Again. That name again. The dragon slowly stood. Its chest began glowing crimson. Energy gathered endlessly. Kael instantly realized what was happening. A final attack. One powerful enough to erase everything nearby. The dragon opened its mouth. A gigantic sphere of black-red fire formed instantly. The sky itself distorted. Kael inhaled slowly, then sprinted forward, directly toward the attack. The dragon fired. Boom! The world disappeared beneath black light. For several seconds, nothing existed except destruction. Then suddenly, a silver glow pierced through the flames. The dragon's eyes widened. Kael emerged from the inferno screaming. Half his body burned, blood covering him entirely. But he kept moving. He reached the dragon, then drove his arm directly through its chest. Rip. The crimson hollow dragon screamed. Kael grabbed its gigantic beating heart. A mythic beast core. The core pulsed like a miniature sun. Then Kael ripped it out. Boom. The dragon collapsed. Its massive body crashed across the mountains. Silence followed. Kael stood there shaking violently. The mythic core burned in his hands. Then suddenly it dissolved into his body. The effect was catastrophic. Boom. Silver-black energy erupted into the sky. Clouds split apart across the continent. Cities trembled. Monsters everywhere began screaming. Kael fell to one knee. Visions exploded inside his mind. Ancient wars. Destroyed worlds. Gigantic creatures devouring entire civilizations. And beyond all of it, a colossal shadow sleeping beneath reality itself. The final beast. Then Kael saw something else. Blue walls. Floating symbols. A giant message hidden behind the sky. Server instability critical. Kael's breathing stopped. Server. Then suddenly he understood. The world of Irinder was not real. Or at least, it was never supposed to be. Far away, the surviving players stared toward the destroyed mountains in horror. Because the energy exploding from Kael no longer felt human. It felt like the birth of something far worse than any monster. And deep beneath the planet, something ancient slowly opened its eyes. The capital city fell into panic. News of the Crimson Hollow Dragon spread across Irinder within hours. Entire mountain ranges had vanished. Villages near the battlefield were erased completely. And worst of all, something killed the dragon. Survivors described Kael differently. Some called him a hero. Others called him a monster. A few claimed they saw him standing inside black flames smiling while tearing the dragon's heart out with his bare hands. The stories spread like wildfire. Meanwhile, Kael sat alone deep inside the ruined mountains, breathing slowly. The mythic core inside his body pulsed violently. Its power was absurd. Every heartbeat made him stronger, but also less human. Dark veins continued spreading across his arms. His senses sharpened beyond normal limits. He could hear cities miles away. He could smell monsters beneath the earth. And worst of all, he constantly heard whispers now. Voices. Ancient. Hungry. Consume. Evolve. Devour. Kael grabbed his head tightly. Shut up. The voices only laughed. Then suddenly, new objective available. A blue screen appeared. Tier. Mythic. Kill the Moon Devourer. Reward. Access to system truth. Kael stared silently. The Moon Devourer. Even among mythic monsters, that name was terrifying. In previous loops, it awakened near the end of the world. Entire nations disappeared overnight. Not destroyed. Consumed. Kael slowly stood. Then another memory surfaced. His family. Still alive. Kael's eyes widened slightly. He immediately sprinted toward home. Night covered the village quietly. For the first time in countless loops, the village still stood after the beast tied. Because Kael changed fate. Warm lights glowed from the houses. People laughed. Children played. Alive. All of them alive. Kael stood silently near the village entrance. Watching. His chest tightened painfully. Because he remembered 100 timelines where this place became a graveyard. Then suddenly, brother. Kael froze. Mira stood nearby holding a lantern. Her eyes widened. "You're back." She immediately ran toward him, but then slowly stopped. Fear crossed her face. Kael noticed instantly the silver glow in his eyes, the dark veins, the monstrous pressure leaking from his body. Even without understanding why, Mira was afraid. That realization hurt more than any battle. Kael slowly looked away. "I'm sorry." Mira blinked. "For what?" Kael remained silent, because how could he explain? How could he tell her? "I watched you die 100 times. His mother suddenly opened the front door, then froze too. "Kael." Her voice trembled slightly. Kael felt it immediately. Fear. Even his own mother feared him now. The whispers inside his head laughed softly. "Monster. Look at them. They fear you already." Kael clenched his fists, then forced a smile. "I just came to check if you were safe." His mother stepped forward carefully. "You're hurt." Kael looked down. Half the wounds from the dragon battle were already regenerating. Abnormally fast. Not human. Mira stared at his glowing veins nervously. "Brother, what happened to you?" Kael froze, then quietly answered. "I became strong enough to protect you." But even he no longer knew if that was true, because the stronger he became, the more terrifying he felt. Far away inside the capital, Rex and the surviving players sat inside an emergency meeting. Their faces looked pale. A giant map of Arinder floated before them. Every major kingdom was panicking, and at the center of the discussion was Kael. The mage slammed both hands onto the table. "There's no way that thing is an NPC anymore." The healer nodded nervously. "He literally killed a mythic dragon alone." Rex remained silent, thinking, because unlike the others, he remembered something strange. During the dragon fight, Kael predicted attacks before they happened. Almost like he already experienced the battle before. Rex slowly looked upward, then quietly muttered, "What if he remembers the resets?" Silence filled the room. The assassin laughed nervously. "That's impossible." Rex did not respond, because deep down, he wasn't joking. Then suddenly the room shook violently. Boom. Everyone stood instantly. A giant warning screen appeared before every player simultaneously. Global emergency event. The Moon Devourer is awakening. Every player's face lost color. "No." The mage stepped backward. "That boss shouldn't appear until endgame." Then another line appeared. "Warning. Server stability below 12%. The players froze. "Server." The healer whispered. "Why would a fantasy world have servers?" Nobody answered, because for the first time, the players themselves became afraid. Kael stood alone atop a mountain hours later. The moon above Arinder had turned dark crimson. Something massive moved beneath its surface. Watching. Waiting. Then suddenly the sky cracked. Krayak. Kael's eyes widened. Blue fractures spread across the heavens, like broken glass. Then beyond the cracks, Kael saw another world. Buildings. Screens. Humans. An entirely different reality. And on one giant screen, words. Project Arinder. Status. Failed simulation. Kael stopped breathing. Simulation. The world really was artificial. Then another message appeared. Final server purge begins in 7 days. Kael's heartbeat slowed. Purge. Deletion. The world was going to die. Everything. His family. The villages. The oceans. The mountains. Everyone. Erased. Not because of monsters. Not because of fate. Because someone beyond the sky decided Arinder was a failed experiment. Rage exploded inside Kael instantly. The beast cores reacted violently. Boom. Dark silver energy erupted across the mountain. The sky trembled. Kael's silver eyes glowed brighter than ever before. "No." His voice echoed unnaturally. "I won't let you erase them." The whispers inside his mind screamed happily. "Yes. Devour them all. Become stronger." Kael clenched his fists. Then another memory surfaced. The final beast. A creature originally designed to destroy the simulation permanently. A monster built specifically to end Arinder. And suddenly, Kael understood something horrifying. The reason monsters kept calling him Final Beast. The reason he could evolve infinitely. The reason the system reacted differently to him. Kael slowly looked at his trembling hands, then whispered, "I wasn't becoming like the Final Beast." Silence filled the mountain. Then Kael's eyes widened slowly. "I am the Final Beast." Boom. The entire continent shook violently. Far beneath the planet, something answered him. A colossal heartbeat echoed through reality itself. And across Arinder, every monster simultaneously turned toward Kael's location. then began screaming. Not in hatred, in submission. The sky above Erinder never returned to normal. For 3 straight days, the heavens remained cracked. Blue fractures spread endlessly across the clouds. Sometimes entire pieces of the sky vanished briefly, revealing the strange world beyond. A world filled with towering buildings, machines, screens, humans, the creators. Panic consumed Erinder. Kingdoms collapsed. Religious groups declared the end had come. Players stopped treating the world like a game, because now, they could see the truth too. And far above the broken skies, something moved inside the moon. Something enormous. Watching, waiting, hungry. Kael stood alone atop the highest mountain in Erinder. Cold wind moved through his black cloak. Below him, millions of monsters gathered silently. Bone crawlers, storm wyverns, titan ghouls, abyss hydras. Creatures that once destroyed nations now bowed their heads toward him. The Beast King. Kael slowly looked at his hands. The dark silver veins now covered nearly half his body. His heartbeat no longer sounded human. Each pulse released pressure powerful enough to crack the mountain beneath him. And yet, his mind remained focused on one thing. His family. Everything he had done. Every monster killed. Every evolution. Every sacrifice. It was all for them. Then suddenly, the moon split open. Kreia wa Aek. Every living thing across Erinder froze. A gigantic black eye slowly opened inside the moon. Then another. Then hundreds. The moon devourer awakened. Its body emerged slowly from the shattered moon like a cosmic nightmare. Massive beyond imagination. Its flesh looked like living darkness. Entire mountains could fit inside its jaws. Tendrils larger than cities stretched across the atmosphere. And its scream shattered oceans. Roar! Tsunamis exploded across continents instantly. Cities collapsed. Players screamed. The surviving kingdoms fell into chaos. Even the monsters below Kael trembled. Because this creature was beyond mythic rank. It was extinction itself. Then the system appeared before every living being simultaneously. Final server purge initiated. Time remaining, 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour before Erinder vanished forever. Kael slowly looked upward. Then stepped forward. The mountain beneath him exploded. Boom. Kael shot into the sky like black lightning. Straight toward the moon devourer. The atmosphere shattered around Kael. His speed became inhuman. Below him, players and monsters alike stared upward in disbelief. Because Kael no longer looked human. Dark silver energy wrapped around his body like armor. Black claw-like markings covered his arms. His silver eyes burned brighter than stars. Then the moon devourer attacked. A gigantic tendril descended from the heavens. Kael punched upward. Boom! The impact split the sky itself. Shockwaves flattened entire forests below. The tendril exploded apart. Black blood rained across the planet. But instantly, 10 more descended. Kael vanished. Boom, boom, boom. He tore through them at impossible speed. Each collision shook continents. The moon devourer screamed. Then opened its mouth. A black sphere formed instantly. Kael's eyes widened. He recognized the attack pattern. Planetary annihilation. The same attack destroyed Erinder in multiple previous loops. But this time, Kael was stronger. Far stronger. He inhaled slowly. Then all beast cores inside his body activated simultaneously. Boom! Silver-black energy erupted across the atmosphere. Entire storms vanished. Reality distorted around him. The moon devourer fired. A beam of absolute darkness descended toward the planet. Kael roared, then charged directly into it. The collision exploded across space. For several terrifying seconds, the entire world disappeared inside black light. Then suddenly, the beam split apart. Kael burst through it screaming. Half his body burned away. Bones exposed. Flesh destroyed. Yet he kept moving. Because the beast cores regenerated him instantly. The moon devourer's hundreds of eyes widened. For the first time, the creature felt fear. Kael slammed into its face. Boom. The impact shattered chunks of the moon itself. Then Kael attacked relentlessly. Punches, claws, explosions. Every strike evolved him further. The stronger the enemy became, the faster Kael adapted. His body stopped resembling a human entirely. Black horn-like structures formed briefly around his head. His teeth sharpened. His voice deepened unnaturally. The whispers inside him screamed joyfully. Yes. Become complete. Become the end. The moon devourer roared and wrapped dozens of tendrils around Kael simultaneously. Kreia. Bones shattered. Blood exploded. Kael screamed as the creature began crushing him. Then suddenly, he remembered. His mother dying. Mira screaming. 100 timelines. 100 helpless deaths. 100 failures. Rage exploded beyond reason. Boom! A terrifying pulse erupted from Kael's body. The tendrils exploded apart instantly. Silver-black lightning covered the entire sky. Every monster across Irinder bowed simultaneously. The players stared upward in horror. Because Kael's transformation had finally completed. The Eternal Beast King. Not human. Not monster. Something beyond both. Kael slowly opened his glowing eyes. Then the world itself trembled. His voice echoed across the planet. You don't get to erase my world. Then he moved. Faster than anything had ever moved before. The Moon Devourer barely reacted. Kael ripped directly through its gigantic body. Boom! Black blood exploded across space. The creature screamed. Kael continued tearing through it repeatedly. Again. 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 Each attack devoured parts of the monster. Absorbing. Evolving. Growing stronger. The Moon Devourer panicked. Its body began collapsing. Then Kael reached its core. A gigantic black heart floating inside endless darkness. The source of the purge. The source of the resets. Kael stared at it silently, then crushed it. Boom! The Moon Devourer screamed one final time. Then exploded. The shattered remains of the moon rained harmlessly across the sky. Silence followed. Complete silence. Then suddenly, a final blue screen appeared before Kael. World reset available. Recommended action. Restart Irinder. Kael stared at the screen quietly. Below him, the planet still existed. Damaged. Broken. But alive. His family still lived. The people still lived. For the first time in over 100 loops, the world survived. The system waited. Reset. Kael slowly smiled. A calm smile. Then finally whispered. No. He pressed. Deny. Kreawa Aawak. The entire system shattered. Blue screens exploded across the sky. The invisible chains controlling Irinder collapsed forever. No more resets. No more players respawning endlessly. No more forced timelines. Freedom. Real freedom. Months later, Irinder slowly rebuilt itself. Without resets. Every moment mattered now. Deaths became real. Life became real. The surviving players eventually disappeared from the world entirely. Nobody knew why. Perhaps the connection between realities had broken forever. Or perhaps, Irinder no longer needed them. Meanwhile, Kael returned home. Not as a hero. Not as a king. Just Kael. One peaceful morning, he sat outside the house beside Mira watching the sunrise. Warm wind moved through the fields. For once, there were no screams. No monsters. No resets. Mira smiled softly. So, does this mean everything is finally over? Kael looked toward the distant horizon quietly. Then far away beyond the clouds, something massive moved. Ancient. Unknown. Waiting. Kael smiled faintly. His silver eyes glowed softly in the sunlight. Then he answered. No. He slowly stood. But this time, dark silver lightning flickered briefly around him. We'll survive it.